felt like God was telling me this is where I needed to be. Their mission is to help women with mental health crisis and recovery.
The beautiful part about Ann and the entire management team at Peace Restored and the entire care team for that matter is Ann has put together the perfect team. She has put together pastoral counselors, interns, art therapists, recovering addicts, counselors of all types of walks of life, because you never know what the next person coming through the door is going to need. They set up the clients with people, with a group of people. It's not just, okay, well, you come in and you see one, and you're going to see one person. They go through a client's intake, they figure out which people will best fit with them, and they assign 2 or 3 of us to a client. There's a whole team, they put a whole team in place to help each client. It's not just a one-on-one all the time type of thing. You know, you have walk therapy, you have somatic, you have groups, you have all kinds of things that Peace Restored offers to help you heal and to help women find their joy in life again. When you're dealing with grief, and I've had several, you know, my grandmother passed away a couple years ago, and she was my best friend my whole life. I've never experienced a team like the team at Peace Restored, and how they not only let you have your moment with grief, but they will walk alongside you and make sure I've not had a day where I've been upset or been dealing with, you know, the grief or some sort of emotion with that, where I've not been asked, okay, well, what do you need in this moment? Can you know, let's talk about what you need and figure that out together. And it's not just the management team, it's the care team, it's the entire staff, the volunteers, everything. They all are concerned and they care, and they walk alongside you, and they let you have your space, and they make sure that you have what you need to help you in these moments.
What's unique is certainly the spiritual aspect of the treatment process and the healing process. The staff, they're very in tune, they're very discerning. Their expertise in understanding the trauma and the effects of trauma on families, not only on the women, but on the people around them and everything they do, and understanding the healing process. And I think what I love the most about Peace Restored is incorporating the spirituality part as well as the physical part into treatment and in healing. A woman can come from any point of view or any perspective, and they will meet her at her point of need and share with her whatever she might want to know. But if she is maybe hesitant, nothing is pushed or pressured as far as faith or beliefs, but the ministry is faith-based. It is very spiritual.
Faith is more holistic. It's more intertwined to what the person needs spiritually, what they need foundationally, what their core values are, what their beliefs are, traditions. Whereas the clinical standpoint is more along the lines of interventions. So you have CBT, DBT, art therapy, the list goes on. And intertwining both of those together, I think, builds a stronger foundation, because a majority of our clients, even though that umbrella is depression, anxiety, we're there to build their identity. We're rebuilding their identity. And with that, you kind of need a foundation to do that. You don't build a house without the materials, right? So having the faith and having the clinical aspect intertwined in that builds a more secure, safe foundation for the client.
No nonprofit, in my opinion, can do it all. We need partners, and we need collaboration with others to help us move and help us to serve those in need. Peace Restored is one of those partners that we collaborate with. Collaboration is key when you are a nonprofit. Stability First is a Christ-centered nonprofit. We're located here in Morgan County. We serve all of central Indiana. We believe God has placed us on the lane of recovery and substance use disorder. Recovery is so complex. It's not one person not one organization can do it all. And so we must collaborate with those that bring specialties to the table to serve those that we're here to serve. We want to create in that pathway of healing that they each have, we want to make sure that we're fulfilling that. And by collaborating with others, whatever that person's need is, we can find an organization, a partner, that can help us with that. Our partnership with Peace Restored began really with a friendship between Ann and I. We just in conversations, getting to know each other, realized that collaborating and recognizing that we each bring specialties to the table and that we can better serve those we're called to serve if we do that together. And so that's kind of how our relationship started, and it's just built from that.
Ann has a pretty dynamic personality, and if you're around her, you just have faith in her.
Yes.
And confidence that she can do what she sets her mind to do. And she was just lovely, really. She was a nice person to be around, and so kind, and you couldn't help but believe in the mission. Back in the day where money was really tight for the organization, and she wanted that printer so bad, but really just didn't have the funds for the printer. So I gave her the money and told her she better get a printer with that, not put that in toward anything else but a printer. It filled a need that she had and she really wanted, and she really needed that. And that was my joy, was just that it filled her need. 10 years isn't very long to build the organization she's managed to build. And I can remember the days when, she was out trying to raise funds, and we went to a church one time for a concert, I think, that was sponsored by them. Just anything to raise funds back in those days. And it's just remarkable how devoted she was.
And I think it's great the way the people have helped, that people have come in and really want to sponsor her and help her in every way. I think it's great the way they see what she gives to the community. It feels good to know that, even though it was a small part, that we were able to help at the time of need.
I just can't state enough how important it is for women to have a resource in times of trouble.
There's so many women out here that don't know, don't know that there's help, or, don't know where to start to even ask for help, or where to go, or, and that's the thing with Peace Restored for me is, we don't turn nobody down. And that's the struggle with today is, people can't afford to get the help that they need. They don't know that there's help out there that they can afford. And Peace Restored that's it for them.
Watching somebody find strength from your story is something completely different than what you can't. Watching the light turn on, okay, wait a minute. She went through all of this too, and she did it. That helps bring a whole different joy to it. And they're able to see it through you, and if they can see it through you and the way that you are, and they can find that spark inside themselves to help them keep pushing one more day, that's all the benefit in the world.
Well, I would say that the work matters in the long term for women who are suffering, that are having problems as a result of past trauma, and they're not able to deal with that. And they go through life carrying that pain and carrying that false guilt and carrying that false shame, it affects every aspect of their lives, their families' lives. And so when you look at generationally, every decision they make affects the next generation and on and on. So I believe that what Peace Restored does have is life-giving, but also life-giving for eternity.
My story with Ann began with friendship, hearing about a dream that she had, and knowing that if there was any way that I could help, that I would be willing to do that. She knew that there were situations that were not good, and it was her way of helping these young women. And she knew that there had to be certain provisions and that certain rules. And she, little by little through the years, developed those into what Peace Restored is now. And from talking with her, it's still growing. I saw in Ann a steadfastness. I saw in her a reality of her earlier life and how she would be able to help other people by her experience. And I saw a drive in her, college, going on, furthering her education through busy times, through family times. And I saw that spark that she had for realizing that really this is what God had in store for her. I truly think that God has plans, that this will grow, and that Ann, along with her family, will progress, and they will finish in the way of doing what God has in store for them.
I would say to someone that would want to know about who Peace Restored is, it's a place for all women. In this space, we want to compartmentalize or silo different types of care. The thing that I always express to people is this is a place for any woman who needs help. If you're a woman, you're struggling with something, come to Peace Restored. You don't have to have my story or anybody else's story. You just need to know that you can come here and you're going to have compassionate people sitting with you, caring for you. You don't have to have no income or a lot of income. You just need to be willing to be vulnerable and to come in a space and say, I need help. It doesn't have to be big help. It can be what you might qualify as little help. I'd say we want to be a place that just shows women that there's hope. And it's literally for any woman, regardless of all the other qualifying factors. I think there's a couple of things that I'm so excited about is, one, currently is the growth that we're just seeing organizationally, is this new staff we're bringing in, just all the stability we're seeing. It just excites me beyond to see all the people because, well, to see where we've come in just 10 years altogether, but the last 5 years we've just had tremendous growth. That's exciting to see that because it means we get to help more people. But I'd say the next two big things that I'm excited to see come is, one, to create a different type of transitional long-term housing for women and their children. It's been on my goal list for, a few years now. But that's the next phase we're at in our stages of development. And I'm so looking forward to that because it's such a need. It is such a need to have a place where women and their children can just find just solace and peace, to be healed, breaking cycles. I'm really excited about that. The other thing that I really want to see change in our community is access for women who have been who have had an assault. And while that's not an exciting topic for most, I realize that most people hear that word and they just kind of shudder. I just want to say I'm excited about the potential of how much help we can do in our community. Because man, if we can get ahead of this, it can be a game changer for so many people, not just the individual, but I'm just thinking families and generations, communities. Because I know with both of these, between the housing and helping people who have been victimized, if we can start changing those tides and giving more people more access to hope and true healing, we're not going to be able to stop the tide of change. And it'll be profound for so many families. I think as I kind of reflect back on all the things that we've been able to work through and accomplish, partnering with other people in the community, the recovery work, the behavioral health, mental health care, all the things that we've been able to accomplish over the last few years, art therapy, somatic work, all those things, it's just been such a blessing to see. I'm so excited to see what's coming next, how God's going to continue to open the doors for us to make an even greater impact in our community and the surrounding communities. Because there's so much more work to be done and so many more ways that we can do that work. And I can't wait to see how it fully unfolds in the weeks and years to come.